want to throw the Bluetooth? Let's throw some chill channel on or something. Oh, we're actually, what time is it? Is it in fact 9 o'clock? Good morning. Good morning and welcome to 1 Million Cups. Good morning and oh wow, that sounds great. Who fixed the sound system? This is fantastic. The echo system is working fine. Good morning and welcome to 1 Million Cups. My name is Eric Rens-Whitmore. I'm one of the organizers. Let's see. We only have one presenter today. We've got a somewhat fun activity planned for the second part. But I'll encourage you to grab a cup of coffee and I think Noventum with Brian Steiner. Yes, exactly. He's thrown the hand up there. He's got some donuts back there, so please go ahead and grab something. But before we kick everything off and welcome our first presenter, Nick, would you mind, I'd like to, we just want to say a little bit of a shout out to our veterans.
Yeah, is there any veterans here? Raise your hands. All right, thank you. Let's give them a big round of applause. So today is Remembrance Day, but also it transferred into Veterans Day. So if you see a veteran, know a veteran, call them up, send them a text. They've done a lot of amazing things for our country, and we're greatly appreciative of their service and what they continue to do after their service. There's a lot of entrepreneurs and a lot of great inventors that have come after their service days. So thank you.
Thank you very much. As we do, we're one of over 70 cities around the country that host an event called 1 Million Cups. And what we do is every Wednesday from 9 to 10 a.m., we bring together entrepreneurs, service supporters, the folks who love them, the folks who want to help grow our community. We bring those folks together so that we can help grow those businesses and make a better community for all of us. I don't know, I'm looking at Paul Sauter. I should choose somebody else. It's just so, this is all right. Yeah, so. Yeah, who's hiring? We'll do a little bit of that later. But before we get into that, let's actually talk with our presenter. So I don't know, I've been just so jazzed about what Marty and Custom Cult Snowboards are doing. Ever since I heard about this idea, it was like, oh, this is amazing. And it is. So I don't know, I probably shouldn't give any more of my version of why this is good. So Marty, come on over. Why don't you talk about Custom Cult Snowboards, what you've been building, and what the opportunities are. Thanks.
All right. Thank you, Eric. Thanks. When I was a kid, I grew up snowboarding and skateboarding, and I fantasized about being a pro snowboarder, and all my friends did too. You know, we would save our lunch money and not eat lunch and get enough money to get a lift ticket to go snowboarding on the weekend so that we could train and practice, try to become better and try to get sponsored and become a pro and be famous. And you know, I've outgrown that, but I think that's pretty common. You know, when we're kids, we want to be the professional athlete or rock star or famous person that we look up to. And that kind of slipped away in my life. You know, we all outgrow it. We grow up and come to reality, and we're not all going to be rock stars. We're not all going to be Michael Jordan. But it's still somewhere back in our minds. I kind of forgot about it until I started having conversations with these people right here. These are the pros in my network at Custom Cult. They're snowboard professionals. They're not Shaun White rock star status, but they're people that grew up just like me, wanting to be professional snowboarders, and they're influencers in the marketplace. These people have always fantasized about having their own pro model snowboard, and we at Custom Cult are giving it to them. And here's how it works. This board right here is Christina Bruno's board. Christina Bruno, right here on the screen, is one of our pros. She's also the head instructor up at Taos. We worked with her to design her pro model, and that's made every specification to what she wants. It's not a stock model with a graphic on it and her name on it. It's her real pro model, made exactly the way she would want it. So we worked with her to design that, and the website will allow Christina to take her students through a design tool. So when she's teaching a lesson and a student asks her, "Hey Christina, what snowboard do you ride and what do you think I should ride?" She says, "Well, I ride a custom board I designed to fit my body, ability level, and personal preferences. And let's figure out what you should ride." And she can take out her mobile phone and go to this page, which formats nicely for a phone, and enter in the student's height, weight, foot size, the kind of riding they'll be doing, other personal preferences, and in a few clicks, the site has calculated what Christina would ride if she had her student's body, ability level, and personal preferences. And the student can choose the graphic that they want and order the board right there on the mountain from the phone. It'll actually morph Christina's pro model board to fit her student. So she's actually a professional snowboarder with a pro model board that her fans are buying. So we give her that ability to be that pro snowboarder that we all fantasized about being as kids. Now, Christina and the student are able to further customize that board on this screen here. There's an advanced configuration button here. So let's say the student grew up snowboarding and fantasized about being a pro snowboarder and knew what it was they wanted for a board. They could take it one step further in the advanced configuration section and actually choose all the individual specifications and design the board down to the millimeter, and we'll produce it for them. They can also then ask to be a designer in our network, be one of our pros, and we can make them a pro too. So we've recently added a new page to the site. It looks like one of the designers in our network, and it's at the very bottom. It gives the aspiring pro the opportunity to design their own pro model board, enter in their body information just like on Christina's page, and then customize each individual characteristic of that board on that page. Then they can apply to be one of the pros in our network, and they can have their own page like the other designers on the first screen. So that's pretty much what I got going on. That's it. We're producing the boards up in outside of Denver at a factory called the Donick Factory. We have a tight relationship with, and so it takes a couple weeks to make them. We just sold our first board a couple months ago, and we started this whole process back in January. So.
Questions? Comments?
I love the sort of the mass customization kind of thing that's going on here. When did you get the idea that, you know, with the technology changes and manufacturing and the customization kind of stuff online, when did you get the idea that this is something that could, you know, could really transform the way that people get their gear for snowboarding? Or was that a thought at all? You just wanted to make it work?
20 years ago. So this isn't my first snowboard company. I had a snowboard company before. I closed it up about 11 years ago. It was a custom snowboard company, but I didn't see the connection for people to actually have an interest in designing their own custom board. It was really only these people that fantasized about being pro riders when they were growing up that fit into that market of somebody that just really had to have a custom board at any cost. Christina Bruno, for instance. And I didn't have a connection to those people. I didn't have a way to draw them in to buy my boards. I mean, who's going to call up Marty Bonacci and order a custom board for me? Does anybody know my name? No. You know, just my small circle of friends. And it was limited. That snowboard business was limited to that small circle of friends. And I had a lot of people come to me since then and say, hey, I want a custom board. You should start making custom boards again. And I said, no, I don't see it. There's really not that extra connection. And we had the whole system, the automated manufacturing system, the software, the ability to do a production line process and make customer unique products every time to the specifications of the customer. But I didn't see the real draw for the customer at that point. So I closed it up, and more recently, it came to me that we could make these people that fantasize about being pro snowboarders actual pro snowboarders with their own pro model and the ability to sell that board and make a commission on it. Yeah.
What do your pros get out of partnering with your companies?
That brings up a good additional point. So we're trying to figure out how to grow our network, increase the number of pros without becoming the Amway of the snowboard industry. So we can't give everybody a snowboard, you know? We have to sell them. These pro snowboarders have to buy their sample board, buy their pro model. And then we'll create a page for them, which literally only takes a few minutes. And when they sell a board, we'll pay them a commission. So they get a commission out of it, and they get to design their own pro model board. But they do have to buy that board. So does it answer your question?
Do you do like some marketing for them, or how do you get their
It's more about them promoting themselves. So we're not advertising for them per se. We do, run some ads for each of them on Facebook and boost it and try and get them some extra promotion in their own arena, in their own network on Facebook. But we don't have specific advertising for them at this time.
Along those lines, you might want to think about creating some sort of social media strategy that you give them that you don't have to do, but maybe some kind of more generic tweets and Facebook posts that then they can put into their own schedule, but with a suggested time frame or something, so that it's a little bit of a handed to them business model.
Yeah, I agree. We haven't figured out a schedule, but we did set up each of their pages so that the link when they share on Facebook or Twitter, and some of you may have seen it if you're somehow connected to me through the social networks, but the link to Christina Bruna's page is formatted for Facebook so that it pulls the right things. All she has to do is share the link to her page. So.
What are some challenges that you face with your manufacturing company that you're working with currently?
So we have an awesome relationship with our manufacturer. We're in super tight with them. I've shared technology with them for almost 20 years now. So I don't know who's going to see this, but they wouldn't be able to do what they can do now if I didn't give them the technology that I had. So they kind of owe us this favor, and we're pretty lucky in that. So I've had to go up there and spend a month sleeping in a camper with falling down roof and fiberglass insulation, no toilet, to tool them up this summer to set up a separate production line in their production just for us. So.
You're kind of a manufacturer's rep in some ways.
I guess, except we've got some super exclusive capabilities that no one else has.
Right. So your company is a marketing company that is has discovered or is hoping to discover a way to sell boards that you don't make.
Initially, we intended to set up a production facility, and we didn't have the money to do that. And this friend of mine that has a production facility outside of Denver stepped forward and said, "Why don't you have us make them?" And I said, "Well, you can't." And at the time he couldn't. He didn't have the capability to do this level of customization. He said, "Well, work with us and, you know, we'll do it." And I said, "Well, the price is going to be off the charts." And the price is high. But so, yeah, we are representing another manufacturer at this point. He's not doing this for anyone else and not even for himself. And we are intending to set up our own production facility. We just don't have the funds to do it right now.
At this point right now, you are marketing sales rep company for a product.
Well, they can't even produce this product. This product that I'm holding right here, our manufacturer can't produce without the software that we own. They don't have the software. I have to send them the toolpath files to cut out those parts. They don't have the technology to actually design it and create it. So it's not as cut and dry as us being a rep. Paul.
It's 10 years from now. What is being customized for us besides snowboards?
Well, Paul, that's a big question. I've been trying to wrap my head around this for a long time. I've been developing ways to automate production of customized products for about 20 years. So we have a couple patents pending. Right here it says patent pending in that button. One part of the patents that we have pending is on the ability to, or I guess it's on having individual algorithms for multiple designers of a product. So Dave Ortiz's design algorithm is based on his Pro model, and it's unique. Grant Elliott's design algorithm is unique. Christina Bruno's design algorithm is unique. So every custom product that's designed by their pages is unique. You could go to every one of these pages here on the site, and you'll get a different design by putting in the same inputs. And it's based on the personal opinion of these designers. So our pending patent is on that technology, that business method. What can we customize that way? I don't know. Gosh, I mean, golf clubs, think about it. Like right now you go get a custom set of golf clubs made and you're going to a company and in their infinite wisdom, they're going to tell you what you need for golf clubs. They're going to design them for you. And they have one algorithm. But what if you could go say, hey, I want Tiger Woods to design my golf clubs, or I want Jack Mickelson to design my golf clubs, or whoever it is that you look up to and respect, whose golf style that you'd like to emulate. Same thing with snowboards, surfboards, mountain bikes, who knows what else. I mean, when I was filing the patent application, shoes, yeah, shoes.
So if I'm understanding correctly, you're able to customize the board, but the design on it itself, they're able to mock and design their own as well? Like the front of the board, the back of the board, the graphics, is that true?
So to simplify the process, at this time, we're not allowing the end user to customize their graphic. They're allowed to choose between multiple graphics in our graphics library. And right here, it shows, you can see a couple of them, and a couple of them kind of shaded out. But
Part of the reason why I asked that is because learning what's valuable, learning the real estate that you have there, and let's say Christina Bruno maybe is sponsored by Red Bull or Oakley, someone that doesn't manufacture boards. Well, now, why wouldn't Red Bull all of a sudden say you're making a Christina Bruno board at your specifications, put my logo on that, and that suddenly becomes very
Thank you. Do you know someone at Red Bull?
No, but I know the value of real estate.
Awesome, awesome idea.
Marty, two
Yeah.
questions. Do you have a goal, number one? Second question, can anybody buy one of your boards who's not a pro rider? Can I buy one?
Yeah, anyone can buy one of our boards. And there's two ways you can buy it. One, you can buy it by going through one of the design algorithms, choosing one of our designers, going through their design algorithm and getting a board. Or, since we don't have an automated way to do it on the site, you have to contact me to become one of the designers and do a full custom board.
The second question, what is your goal?
So my goal, I had a goal to have 100 designers in this network by November 1st, and right now I have 14. So I've fallen short of my big goal there, and I'm reevaluating the goals at this time. I had what I thought were 3 magic bullets to get 100 designers in our network, 100 pros in that network by November 1st, and none of them panned out. I thought any one of them could have pulled it off, but all 3 of them fell through. So I'm looking for number 4.
Okay, I thought you would answer the question by saying, I want to become a millionaire, something like that.
Actually, it's not about the money. I'd like to change the landscape of customized products for the future, and not just for snowboards. I mean, yeah, I've got a passion for snowboarding and snowboards, but I really think that there's a lot of room for making some awesome products in the future and making it so the crowd can design products for other people in the crowd easily. And that's what this is about, an automated way to do that. John?
Are you still looking to work with the snowboard instructors?
Yes. Yeah, snowboard instructors are great. They're influencers in the marketplace. I'm looking for anybody that's an opinion leader in the snowboard marketplace to be involved.
I saw
Mira?
Nate in the Snowboard podcast is one of the designers.
You know Nate?
I think I met him at podcast maybe.
Oh, sweet.
You might want to sponsor his podcast.
What does sponsor his podcast mean?
You become like a premium advertiser, so you give him a certain amount of money for every podcast, and he has to mention it every time.
What if he mentioned it every time he does a podcast and I didn't have to give him any money?
That would work too.
That's because that's what I got going on. Yeah. Yeah, Nate. So some of these people are instructors. Some of them are high profile in the snowboard industry, like Nate Masson. He's got a podcast and owns a company called Shred Soles, which is an insole for snowboard boots. And you know, I don't even know what his circulation of his podcast is, but it's pretty much anybody that's an influencer in the marketplace. That's a good thought, though. Yeah.
So I realize that comparing prices between a generic snowboard that you get that has no customization and your product, which is totally customized, isn't exactly an apples to apples comparison. But how do you fit in the snowboard price range?
We're super expensive.
Exclusive.
Exactly. Yeah, right there.
Like, one, I have apparently a question for somebody, yes, great. So the model that you're using here for the snowboard industry is similar to a model that's been used in the guitar industry for a long time, where literally they get rock stars, they find out, who's using their guitar, Gibson or Fender or manufacturers, and then they make a model for that artist. So, your page model or whatever it is, and then they market that model to consumers.
Yeah, we're open to licensing it. The snowboard industry is exactly like the guitar industry. There's pro snowboarders that get free boards, and they very often, if they're high enough profile, get money. So it's very similar to that. Yeah, I have looked at doing a Kickstarter campaign, and we've been trying to wrap our head around how to do that. There's a couple obstacles with it. If we sell an item on Kickstarter, it doesn't provide us this data. So we'd have to sell it on Kickstarter, and then they'd have to come to our site and design it. Right, yeah, there's ways around it, but if the goal was to expand the network to have 100 designers, so that those designers can promote to their social network, to their fans and friends, then Kickstarter may not be the way to get those 100 designers. It may just be a way to get some cash to... Right, and get the boards out there, but I think the boards have less value without the name attached to them. So, but yeah, we've been kicking it around. We want to get the most value out of a Kickstarter campaign when we do it. John?
So on the business model side, what's the market for maybe high-end, especially snowboards, or maybe overall? And then how many do you need to be able to sell to make this viable, and kind of volume you're able to do?
Well, my overhead is just my living expenses. So we don't have a factory at this time. We don't have to pay any monthly costs out. So to make this viable, I just need to make a living. But how many do we need to do that? It really depends on the margin. So right now we're paying probably twice as much, maybe more than we need to for snowboards. If we had our own production facility, the cost would be about 40% of what they are now. So we're trying to prove the business model enough at this point to set up our own production facility to get our costs down so that we can then mess with our price and then bring it back to a price that is competitive with the rest of the marketplace so that we can be the highest price but not out of the range. You know, you'll see Burton snowboards for $700 in a retail shop, and if we could come in at $700 or $800 because we set up our own production facility and cut our costs down, we could really be a huge player in the marketplace and not just an exclusive brand. So we're trying to figure out our positioning there, and our costs play a big part on that. So we don't have all that sorted out yet.
Have you ever thought of just trying to offer not the actual custom boards, but just maybe your software in retail stores? And if not, maybe something a little smaller to drag people to your online site, so maybe like a custom stomp pad, where they can go, do something, and then they go to your site, they see your custom boards, and if they're still looking for a board, that way it's another way to kind of drive customers to your site.
So there's a kiosk in the store.
Yeah.
So I pitched up in Taos a few weeks ago, and I didn't win. I lost the tiebreaker for first. And the consolation prize was this huge tablet. It was a 21.5-inch tablet, Android tablet. Yeah, and it doesn't even have a battery. And the reviews on it are horrible. So I started messing around with, I'm like, I love tablets, love touchscreens. So I'm thinking, I'm like, what am I going to do with this thing? Well, I started messing with it, and I figured out how to put a kiosk app on it, and it's an awesome kiosk. I set it up in sports systems, so it's locked onto our main page on our site, and Dave Ortiz, the designer that's first on the site, right here, works for sports systems. He's one of our pros in our network. So, yeah, we've been kicking around how to work with retailers. Sports Systems is the first retailer we're working with. Yeah.
I used to be an instructor actually, so like this is interesting. But
Awesome.
one of the things that I noticed about other snowboard companies is whenever they do demo days, so like going in and like if you already have a couple designers to bring out their boards, like you run right this board, and just either have them test it out for a day or something like that, and once they get used to it, they either want to buy a board that's similar like than the one that they rode, or they want that same board, and then sometimes they'll even, if they can't afford it, they'll advertise the board that they want to some of their students.
Yeah, we've been kicking around how to deal with the demo situation. The benefit of a custom board made for you is that it's made for you, and to demo something that's different isn't going to give that benefit. It's kind of like just demoing some random board. So I know that we need to somehow make that connection, that physical trying out experience connection, but I'm not, I don't want to go out and spend money on a demo fleet and all that effort when it doesn't actually connect with the benefit of having a custom board. So I haven't sorted through how to deal with that. And any ideas there, I'd love to hear them. Yes?
Have you done any research yet to look at the pros you're talking about and the income of their fan base to see if they have the income level to support selling this level of price board?
Yes. So Grant Elliott here, he was teaching at Canyons last year. I don't think he's going to be there this year. It costs $1,000 for a lesson at Canyons for a full day private lesson. He has clients that fly in on private jets. So I think his clientele fit.
Providing him to get him to give to them about this.
He's got his pro model board under his feet.
That's it?
That's it.
And his phone.
And his phone. And he sold one for $2,000 in the summer. Yeah, one. But we just started too. It was a week after we launched the site. He sold one. So.
Because these people immediately even go back someplace.
Yeah.
They don't necessarily take the time on the site where they are to get this stuff done, especially if they have that kind of money. You need to have some kind of follow-up system.
So, we designed the site so that the instructor could take out their phone and say, let's figure out what you should ride, and go through the tool, and then put in the student's email address and hit continue, and it emails a link to the design that's created to the student at that point. So there's some connection there. Yes?
Last question.
Is there a way to make a cheaper model, maybe with fewer customizations, that you may be able to pitch to like high school students or university students who can't afford to buy like a full customized version, but might be able to have something slightly customized for them?
So the retail price for our base model board right now is $997. Our cost makes it so we can go quite a bit lower for adding in new experts and pros in our network, but we wouldn't make any money. So we need to keep the price at $997 for retail, but we can get it lower if we set up our own production facility. We can cut our costs in half and be competitive with the rest of the market.
So, oh, I'm sorry. I would say that's your market niche. I wouldn't say try to go cheaper.
Yeah, right. I agree, but I would like to have that extra profit. I would like, these people are used to getting snowboards for free or so cheap, it's virtually free. To get 100 people in this network, I've got to give them snowboards or pretty close to it. I have to be able to subsidize that cost. And our current cost per board, there's no way I can afford to subsidize that cost. So I can't just give away 100 snowboards. It'd be too much money.
Ask Red Bull to sponsor a team. We'll stick Red Bull on your board
That is a great idea. Maybe that might be the way for me to leapfrog that issue.
Get somebody else to sponsor it. Does anybody
Awesome.
know the people who own Red Bull?
Can I say one more thing here before you take over?
Well, I was gonna.
Pretty please.
I was going to ask you a question that.
I know that question,
Okay,
but
yes.
so I've started other businesses before, and I've never had a community like this and the support that Albuquerque gives to entrepreneurs. I think that the things that are here for resources for us is awesome. I want to give a special thanks to Fat Pipe, to Q Lab, who's been my office space for the last 9 months and has been a great space to work. If any of you guys are looking for, a space to do like physical work, like not office work, Q Lab's a really cool spot. But, and of course, A Million Cups. It's been good to be able to come here on Wednesdays and connect with other people that are experiencing the same risks and leaps and challenges that I've been going through. So thank you guys. So what can the community do to help me out? Is that one? Yeah. So this is our Facebook page. What you guys can do for me doesn't cost anything, only takes a second. You all got your phones. Take them out, go to Facebook, search for Custom Cult Snowboards. And if you got to type in the domain, it's facebook.com/Custom Cult Snowboards. And like the page. That's it. Just need you to like the page, boost our likes a little bit. Would really appreciate that. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you very much. Yeah, we love the community here. It's just awesome. Thanks to Marty and for you all for being here. We've got an opportunity to do something a little bit different. First of all, can I have anyone who's here for the first time, can you maybe raise your hand and just, yo, Bruce. Yeah, we got a handful of folks. So actually not too many folks today, but that's great. Great to see you today. I would encourage folks to kind of talk with them and kind of see, what you're looking for. And as a way to help kick that off, one of the things, I'll introduce a couple things, and then we're going to do a little something where we go around the room, and I'll tell you what we're looking for and what we're not looking for. But first of all, I want to mention, so this coming Friday, Global Entrepreneurship Week in Albuquerque kicks off. I think there's about 30 events that are happening during the course of a 10-day week. Just a monstrous amount of events. I refuse to do them all because I'll just bore you to tears and it'll be way too quick. But many of you in the audience here today have a role in some of those, and I'll probably kick in a few highlights. If you're interested in information about that, it's gewabq.com/events. If you go there, you'll find all those events. There's more events that are also being added right now. Another great resource from the city of full transparency, I have a contract with City Economic Development. They are also behind a thing called ABQIC for Innovation Central. ABQIC.com. They've got a lot of those events. They've got some highlights from the city's perspective, and they've also got a new interactive map that launched or relaunched, I think, last night. I'm looking at Jenny because she can confirm this, or she will just, say I'm wrong. So we're going to go around the room a little bit, and what I'm looking for is folks who've got, I'm sorry, I keep getting out of order. Sponsors, we want to thank Fat Pipe ABQ. Nice shout out from Marty. Fat Pipe ABQ, thanks to Lisa over here. Great venue, really the heart, the heartbeat of what's happening downtown with our innovation district and innovation central, whatever you want to call it. This new entrepreneurial scene, it's in many ways kind of really kicked off and started right here. So Fat Pipe ABQ have been great hosts. In addition to that, Sabio Systems over here, yes, a little round of applause. Coffee sponsors, helping make this happen on a weekly basis. I know I can't even speak without coffee, so, and many of us can't have conversations without it, so thanks to them for making that happen, keeping Albuquerque's entrepreneurial community caffeinated. In addition to that, there's Emergent Wave, there's Nick Lehman Media, amazing guy. Nick Lehman Media, we've got Booyah Media, we've got C&M Stimulus Center, all helping make this happen on a weekly basis. Now, what are we looking for? If you've got events, or you as your business or in your professional life are looking for employees, partners, or other resources, I'm wondering if you can just kind of share those, and we'll kind of go throughout the room. We're trying to keep this to maybe 2 or 3 sentences, nothing long, not a huge pitch.